Being the owner of a house for over 40 years, the time had come to replace the window panes in the living room by the garden because they had become opaque with scale deposits. I called window specialists, and I was surprised by the fact that their services were quite expensive. Besides, before they could proceed to change the glass panes, I had to remove the security iron bars on my own and then pay someone to reinstall them. The problem with the security bars was that they had so many welded mounting brackets that it was totally impossible to replace the glass panes from outside the house. These expenses added to their normal fees, and the resulting amount was not within my reach. No way. On the other hand, replacing the glass panes myself involved the risk of cutting myself by broken glass or slipping on my hands. The first thing would be to get a good pair of gloves to protect my hands. Then I would have to measure the windows carefully. I even double-checked the figures up to 10 times, and I started looking for a distributor with good prices. Once I found them, I ordered the glass panes and they were delivered promptly, cut to size, exactly as I specified it. In order to test my skills as an installer, I decided to work in a single window first, as a one-day project. I got myself a long and heavy steel bar and proceeded to break the 4 window panes. If you decide to do the same thing, I suggest a bar long enough so that the broken glass does not hit you. Once I completed my mischievous action, I proceeded to slide the glass panes from inside the house to the outside. If the height of each glass pane is different from its width, we have to rotate the glass panes 90 degrees from their original position to make them easily go through the window openings. Then rotate it again and hold it in place with hardware and screws. Then do the same with the lower right pane, resting it on the window sill in order to handle it from the outside and rotating it so it sits into position. Whenever a glass pane is to be rested, a piece of thick cloth must be used to prevent chipping the glass. In the same way, the upper left glass pane is slid inside and rested on the window sill in order to turn it around 90 degrees and hold it in place, working through the spacing between the iron bars. We must then proceed the same way with the upper right glass pane. Once this is done, seal the glass in place using silicone. Encouraged by the success of my project, the next day I tried to do the same thing with a single pane window, but when I was measuring it before ordering it, I found that the glass pane was perfectly square, having the same vertical dimension as the horizontal one. In this case, I could not turn it around 90 degrees and make it fit as I did in the previous window. I had to do something a bit more drastic. I ordered the glass in 2 parts, each one as high as the original glass pane, but half its width. In fact, a few millimeters narrower. Doing this, each half of the glass could loosely fit through the hole. I slid the first half and I rested it on the window sill, sliding it to the left as far as the iron bar's mounts allowed. Then I slid the second half of the glass and carefully placed it in place. Now I could move the left hand so that it would fit into place. Then I replaced the hardware and the screws, leaving the window covered with a pair of glass panes and with a narrow groove in the center, which would have to be covered in some way. Using silicone, I glued 2 aluminum strips covering this groove, both inside and out. The aluminum strips were 3/4 of an inch wide by 1/16 of an inch thick. The same glass dealer who sold me the glass panes also sold me the aluminum strips with the same color as the window frame, which in this case was white. The beauty of the window was not affected at all, because it looks as if the original frame already had that crosspiece. I saved money by doing the work myself, enough so I could pay for the gas, telephone, and water bills for that month. I also avoided the expense of removing and reinstalling the security bars. I hope this video helps you. Thanks for watching and please subscribe to my channel.